friends, so today we are going to be learning about perspective. When it comes to art, there's lots of tricks that we can do to make things look more three-dimensional. And so we're going to be doing what's called a focal point. We're going to be learning about depth, horizons, and all that fun stuff. Now there's a lot of tricks that we need to do in order to make it look semi-realistic. We're just using a marker to learn the basic concepts, but this is a great start for beginners. So first of all, what we need to do is we're going to fold our paper in half. Okay, I have this for my Sharpie so it doesn't get on my table, but I'm going to take this. This is going to make our horizon nice and straight. We don't have to worry about measuring or anything. This is just a good solid line. Now to find my focal point in the middle, I'll take my ruler and measure it. And it's about 9 inches. So I'm going to go to 4.5. 4.5 plus 4.5 equals 9. And this is where my focal point is, okay? That dot right there is the center of my paper. And that center is where your horizon and all your stuff is going to disappear off to. Because when we look at the Earth doesn't have an end to it, yet we see a line where the sky and the ground meet. That's what a horizon is. So I'll take my ruler and I'm going to draw that horizon right where I put my fold. All right, nice and straight. So this is going to be our sky and this is going to be the Earth. Now, what we have a hard time remembering sometimes is that the sky goes all the way down and never stops until it reaches the Earth. When we draw a sky, we don't do a strip of blue and then all white, because when we look at the sky, we see all blue no matter what, all the way to where the ground meets. Okay, now to understand perspective, our focal point, when our eyes reach that focal point, that's as far as we can see before our eyes can't see anymore, okay? And that's where we want our attention to be drawn towards. So we're going to put everything going in that direction. Now, to have that make more sense, we're going to draw a landscape where we're going to have a road that's going to go all the way here and disappear off into the distance, right? So I'm going to put my ruler from this focal point, and it can be anywhere, it doesn't have to be the exact corner, but I'm going to put this right here, and then a line that's pretty equal. So I'm going to put this right here. It's not right on our focal point, but close to it. Kind of got off center, but that's okay. So here is our road. Now, our road, as you notice, when we stand here, everything is bigger when it's closer to us, but as it moves further away, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until our eyes can't see it anymore. All right, and to show that, also the same thing when it comes to spacing, everything that's close to us is going to have larger spaces, like if you have the lines of a road like this, okay? And then I have this. It's not going to be the same size and same space. As it gets farther, it gets smaller and smaller and more closer together. Kind of like that, okay? So I have lots of little dots, and the more closer it gets, the bigger the lines are and the more spaces are in between them, okay? Now, to add to this effect, we're going to add some trees and some, maybe some cactus, because we live in Arizona, okay? And so, or also you can do telephone poles. So I'll do a little bit of both to show that perspective. So let's do actually a telephone pole. I'm gonna do a basic one where I go down my ruler. I'm gonna stop right there, okay? Because when we see telephone poles, I'll do another one. Telephone poles are not just one straight line. Okay, so here's a telephone pole. And I'm moving it toward the side of the road and I'm going straight up and down. All right, and we have a little bit of space. This is where our grass is going to be because they're not right next to the road. Okay, we have some space there. Now I'm going to draw my telephone pole, but I'm going to do it the same part. We're going to do it right about there. Okay, same distance from the road. And remember, we have bigger space, but as it moves on, we're gonna get shorter spaces and more in between. Okay, I'm gonna do the same dots. Okay, I'm sorry, this is a little confusing, but I'm gonna do it on both sides. I'm going to do some cactus, actually. And you know what, I changed my mind. We'll just do some telephone poles here. We'll do some cactus and we'll keep it random. But as far as the telephone poles go, we want to keep the even spacing from the side of the road, but we want to go smaller and smaller. So I'm going to do about here, okay? Then I'll do this one about here, okay? There. Okay, so you see how it starts off big and then we get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as we go? All right, that's gonna be our telephone poles. And telephone poles are the wires that you see that our telephones connect to. Okay, and then I'm gonna do that. And telephone poles have wires, so I'm gonna go like this. All right. There we go. That's perspective. That shows that when you're standing here, everything that's closer to you is bigger, but everything that goes farther away gets smaller and smaller. All right. Now, here's some common mistakes that we make. I decided I'm going to use this side to show what not to do. So this is yes, this side is going to be no. So what I see a lot is if we were to, let's say, draw a tree, we sometimes lean back. All right. And then we do this. Okay, trees don't lean to the side like this, all right? You want them straight up and down, okay? That's kind of hard to do, but also with our horizon is not a stopping point. I went right on top of that horizon, okay? So I don't want to see all your trees, even if they're up and down. I'm running out of ink. To stop at the horizon. So no, we want our trees to go all the way up and get smaller and smaller and smaller, okay? We want it to be on top of the horizon, okay, up here too. So I don't want to see any leaning sideways. They go straight up and down, but I don't want to see them stop at the horizon, okay? Everything up close to you should go all the way up and just get gradually smaller and smaller till we reach our focal point. So when I look at something like this, my attention is drawn to this area right here, and I can see everything kind of move into the focal point like that. Okay, so that is our art lesson for today. I wanted to introduce this to you because we're going to be talking about a new artist soon who love to use focal points and motions and layering, and so there's a lot of cool stuff with it, but this is the basics before we can get into that. So what I would like you to do is to draw your own scene where you can have trees, cactus, telephone poles, but I would like to see horizon, a focal point, a road, and then you can color it however you like. So please take a picture of it, post it to Dojo so I can see it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Friday, friends. Have a great weekend.